There are questions that have followed humanity since the beginning of time. Questions whispered in the darkness. Questions shouted in agony. And one of the oldest among them is this: why does suffering exist? I've asked it too. Not just once, but again and again. Whenever I see a child buried too soon, a mother abandoned, a soul broken by loneliness or war or despair. I've searched for answers. In theology, in philosophy, in prayer. Sometimes, I thought I found something. But then came another wave of grief, and everything unraveled again. And so, I've stopped trying to explain it all. Not because I've given up, but because I've started to realize some questions don't need to be answered. They need to be lived through, carried, offered. Father Pierre once asked, why is there suffering? Why is there human existence? How many simply endure their suffering without ever questioning its weight or meaning? Perhaps the real gift is not in understanding why we suffer, but in daring to ask, in having hearts awake enough to wonder, in refusing to go numb. I used to think that faith meant having answers. That belief required clarity, but I've grown to believe the opposite. Real faith is not the absence of doubt. It's the courage to remain with God even in the doubt. To sit with Him not because everything makes sense, but because I trust He is there, even when the silence is deafening. I look to Christ, not the glorified Christ in robes of glory, but the suffering Christ, bloodied, bruised, bent under the weight of a cross He did not deserve. He did not explain suffering. He entered it. He carried it. And He transformed it. And perhaps that's all the answer we ever truly needed. I choose to stay with the God who stayed with me, even when I was bitter, even when I was silent, even when I wept without words. I may never know why pain exists. I may never understand why some lives carry heavier crosses than others. But I do know this: God is not far away. He is not unmoved. He is not absent. He is here. And perhaps love of God is the final answer, not because it explains everything, but because it endures through everything. Love does not erase pain, but it holds it, redeems it, and walks with us through it. So if you are still waiting for your answer, don't despair. Sometimes, the silence is the answer. Sometimes, the darkness reveals the light more clearly. And sometimes, God says nothing, because He is too busy holding you. Let love be enough. Let the quiet presence of God surround you. Even when nothing makes sense, love can still be the final word. Amen.